what's going on, everybody? It's Monday, November 1st. I hope you had a nice Halloween. I think I made a video earlier today and I said I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. I think I was jumping ahead of myself. I hope you had a nice Halloween. Well, folks, a little bit of, I guess for some of you, bad news, but I talked about it earlier. As of December 1st, my primary service, MMT Trader, which is the only type of service of its kind, which is applied MMT, modern monetary theory. I take the concepts and understandings of modern monetary theory and I use those, or I help you to use those, to understand those, to profit in the financial markets. Now, I started that thing back in 2016 at $75 a month. And I used to tell people, hey, it was going to go up. Eventually, I said it was going to go up to $1,250 a month. Now, to some of you, that might sound crazy. That sounds might ridiculous. I've been in the economic, investment publishing business before. I've dealt with institutions mainly. This thing started out, to help people, regular investors, small investors. You had a chance to get in at 75, at 100, at 125, at 145, at 195, at 250, at 395, even at 500 now. I have people, I still have original subscribers at 75 bucks and 100 bucks. I have subscribers, or I had subscribers at 75 bucks and 100 bucks who are quitting, which is crazy to me now because people are paying 500. Anyway, as of December 1st, it is going to $1,250 a month. I know it might sound crazy to many of you. I have friends, associates, colleagues, whatever you want to call them, people I know in the industry, in the financial industry. I've been an exchange member on 4 exchanges, a floor trader, money manager for a major hedge fund, a major bank. I mean, I know guys and services that put out publications that I feel are in no way comparable to what I do, and they're charging many thousands a month. Some of them are $100,000 a year, some of them are more. So for what I do, and I'm sorry if this is going to exclude a lot of people, I'm still going to do these videos for those who take these videos seriously and not come on here to deride or spew your misery because you're miserable and you just want to, say anything to drag somebody down or be critical. But for those of you who want to learn, I'm still going to be doing these videos. Anyway, that's just the announcement I wanted to make. Dow 36,000. I told you that was going to happen. We didn't close above there, but the Dow did hit 36,000 today. I said that was going to happen a long time ago. I mean, you could look at my videos. By the way, all my videos, I think there's something like 2,000. There might be over 2,000 videos that I've been doing. I've been doing videos that I think as far back as like 2008. And you can go back and check all these things. I mean, I put my macroeconomic, forecasts and outlook and trading, acumen, whatever you want to call it, up against anybody else. The forecasts, bar none, are better. I mean, I'm usually telling you guys months in advance, or at a minimum a month in advance, what's going to happen with the data before all these high-paying, guys on Wall Street talk about it or get it wrong, obviously. Or the understanding of the monetary system and how policy affects it, how, they're all talking about always the Fed and print money, this and taper and, fiscal, folks. I talk about that. I've come up, really, the only one. Who do you hear talking about fiscal flows? Who has made videos explaining, which you could buy for 99 bucks? By the way, none of my courses are going up. how to use the daily treasury. Who even talks about the daily treasury statement and how to, parse through that data? Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and, pat myself on the back. It is what it is. Hate to use that expression, but that's the case. All right, look. New issue of MMT Trader is out. You could still lock it in there for 500. Look, folks, I'll just come out and say this. If you really want it, and if you're committed, if you're a single individual investor or a student or something like that, and you are committed, like I want committed people. I'm not in this to have 50,000 followers or 100,000 subscribers. I'm not one of these services where this is a loss leader and I'm putting it out there for $29.95 a year and then I'm going to sell you on something else. No, this is deep understanding. This is like going to school. This is like being in a university. This is higher education. That is, knowledge is power. If you can't swing it, talk to me. I've done deals with people. I understand what it's like to be in a situation where you're tight. All right? I am not an elitist, okay? I'm like a blue collar guy. I came up in a blue collar family. My father was a fireman here in New York City. All right? I cut my teeth on the floor of 4 different exchanges here. The COMEX, the New York Futures Exchange, the NYMEX, and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, trading S&Ps in the pit. In the pits. In the pits, slugging it out. All right? Back in the day of the open outcry. Anyway, fiscal flows. We ended October at 517 billion. What did I tell you? I said we're going to come in somewhere around 500, maybe slightly under 520 billion. That is not a bad number. Okay? Now, when you combine that with the fact that we're seeing a credit impulse, in other words, we're seeing bank loans rise, the combination of those two things, bank loans and a decent, it's not March. March was fucking almost a $1 trillion. All right, we went $1 trillion, we went 750 billion, we went 720 billion, we went 700 billion, we went we went all the way down. We're 50% less monthly flow than what we were in March. So you can't expect the economy to grow at 6.7% and the market to go up every single day. I mean, right now the market's ascent is pretty impressive. But you have conditions that are conducive to that. All right? I've just named them: the fiscal and the bank credit situation. And I did tell you that if I have a concern, it is what is going to happen at the end of this month in November when we come into December. And once again, we go through this shenanigan, this bullshit of you got to raise the debt ceiling, you got to fund the government, or you're going to shut down the government. We're going to have this again. So we'll see what happens when it comes down to that, time period, that time frame. Right now, things are good. And the other thing that I mentioned, and I mentioned this in a prior video, maybe a couple of prior videos, slower economic. Look, when you go from 6.5% down to 2%, and by the way, that advanced number that we got last Thursday, that could be revised down still. I mean, that could end up being lower than 2% when they, that was an advanced number. They don't have all the information there, like they don't have the trade deficit. Right now, where are we? We're October, so they got August trade numbers. You got to get that in. That's going to revise that thing, and it'll probably be revised lower. But I think we're stabilizing here now. And the bank credit thing is a positive. Now, I mentioned, and I've been mentioning, the distinction between bank money and government money. I mean, you want government money because that's yours to keep. but that's political, and they only give it to certain people, like fucking billionaires, all right? They don't give it too much to, you know, regular folks. So the rest of us have to rely sometimes on bank credit. Now, the problem with bank credit, again, your debt starts to pile up. Yeah, you get a checking account, you get some money in your checking account, you go out and buy a car, or you go out and buy a house, or you go on a vacation trip, or whatever you do with it, pay a school, you know, for your kids. Then you got to pay that back. The government's money, that's yours to keep. So everything is good. Look, I crunch the numbers. If you're a number person, you should like my report. If you're if you're a macro, you want to see the big picture. I always say, like, the big picture is the most important thing. If you got the big picture, I always say, like, if you have the big picture, it's like flying at 30,000 feet. I mean, you see everything. You can be flying over the Empire State Building. You could be flying over that, what's that building in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building, and it looks like nothing, right? When you see that, it puts everything in perspective. Look, if you know, or if you have a handle on basic economic conditions, you can make money. Don't forget, a lot of people out there just, you know, like from the first movie Wall Street, if you ever saw it with Gordon Gekko, the first movie Wall Street, not the second one. The second one sucked. But the first one, when he said, people out there are throwing darts at a dartboard. I bet on sure things. When you see that big picture, when you see the macro picture, it is as close to a sure thing as you can get. And the other part of that equation that I always talk about, when you understand the daily treasury statement, when you understand these flows, from the biggest fiscal authority in the whole entire world, the United States federal government, when you understand these tens of billions, hundreds of billions, trillions flowing in and out on a daily basis, talk about front running. And that's totally legal. That's public information. That's not like you got some inside information on a stock that, hey, somebody told you. No, you know what's coming in. You know what's coming out. That absolutely has an effect on the market. You understand that? You can make money. And guess what? Even for you short-term people, that's a bonus to you too. Anyway, that's it for now. You got this whole month of November to enjoy my service or sign up. And by the way, I don't raise prices on people who have my service. If you bought in at 75 bucks, if you bought in at 100 bucks, you're in. If you bought in at 500, you're not going to 1250. But that's where it's going. All right, everybody. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the support. I love you. Don't forget, click like and subscribe. Thanks very much, everybody. Don't forget now, you got to go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, sign up for a 30-day free trial. Bye.